Hey guys, it's Bellamy here from Midnight Suns and welcome to my review of Transformers 1. So let me just start off this review by saying this movie is amazing and it is way better than what the trailers make it out to be. If you've seen the trailers and you think this is a kids movie, let me assure you this is not just a kids movie. Like, kids can enjoy it definitely, but I think adults can enjoy it just as much or even more. There are some really mature themes in this movie like politics, government, war, slavery, brotherhood, things that really adults can really understand. And it is actually a pretty accurate representation, a reflection of what our real world is like. And yeah, that was a very nice surprise because when I just saw the trailers, I thought this is just gonna be a kids movie, but no, this is actually much more mature than you think. And I think even non-Transformers fans can really appreciate like the very mature themes of this movie. So for all of you parents who have kids who are trying to drag you to watch this movie, just go and watch it. Like, honestly, it's a great movie. I think even you will enjoy it. I thought the animation was great, the music was great, and minor spoilers, but I mean, we already know it's gonna happen. But there's a big Megatron and Optimus fight scene at the end of the movie. Like, honestly, that Megatron vs Optimus Prime fight scene was awesome. Transformers fans who have been waiting the whole movie for that showdown, you won't be disappointed. And like I said, I thought the soundtrack was amazing, the script was really well written as well, like all the dialogue, nothing felt out of place, and all the characters felt very in character, like if you're a huge Transformers fan, I think it really does justice to all the Transformers characters. And you really get to see Optimus Prime grow from being like a lowly miner to the leader that he is. Like, you really see the character growth throughout the movie. And speaking of characters, like the main highlight of the story is definitely Megatron and Optimus Prime's brotherhood, and I thought they did that really well. But one thing which I think is probably my main complaint about this movie is that I felt that Megatron, from him becoming the miner to like the leader of the Decepticons, like I felt that his turn from a good guy to bad guy, just felt pretty abrupt. And yeah, I won't go into too many details because I don't want to spoil the movie and you can watch it for yourself and judge it for yourself. But I found it really weird because like they spent like, let's just say like the first half of the movie making him look like a really nice, normal guy. And then something happens in the movie and like a flip just switches and he becomes like this ruthlessly evil character. And then, like, honestly, I don't think that the motivation for him to get that heel turn was really justified. Like, I understand he's driven by revenge, but it just felt pretty extreme. Like, he's such a nice guy and suddenly he becomes like this cruel, evil overlord, I felt that the movie was lacking that extra bit of motivation that he needed to really turn from good to evil. Like, it was such an extreme switch. I think if they didn't make him look like such a good guy, then it wouldn't be so jarring. But because they really make him look like a great guy, just like Optimus, and then when he turns evil, it just felt really extreme. I think they should have like had some plot point that maybe explained that he was being corrupted by like some dark spark or something, like just an explanation to explain why he was so good and then became so evil so drastically. But yeah, that's my only big complaint I have about this movie. Other than that, I really love almost everything else about the movie. And I really love how they established the new Transformers lore in this movie, like this new animated reboot universe. We even got to see the Transformers God Primus and the original Primes. You get to see like the origin from basically the start of time of the Transformers universe until the current time. And yeah, I thought that was really well done. And then in this movie, you get to see the birth from conception, the Autobots and Decepticons, like how the entire factions begin in the first place. And this is definitely the best Transformers origin story that I've ever seen for the Autobots and Decepticons. Excluding the War for Cybertron games, of course, I think the War for Cybertron games had the best Transformers origin story. But when it comes to movies and TV shows and other kinds of media, I think this is definitely the best Transformers origin story I've ever seen in my life, and I'm a massive Transformers fan. And for those of you who know me, my favorite Transformer is Starscream, and yes, he is in this movie, and he has quite a bit of screen time, which made me really happy because you barely see him in the trailers. But yeah, in the movie itself, he has some pretty important scenes. And we actually get to see him be the leader of a rebellion, like it's very rare that we watch a Transformers show where we actually get to see Starscream shine. But I will say I have a little complaint about how his character was portrayed in this movie. Like, his personality is great. His personality is basically Starscream as you remember him from the original Transformers G1 cartoon. However, my complaint is with his power level, like how weak he seems to be. because he's like this leader of the rebellion, but yet he seems pretty weak in terms of combat power. And all the other characters in this movie, they all like revere him as like the greatest warrior in the High Guard of Cybertron. But then the first time he fights Megatron, he just loses so easily, like minor spoilers. And yeah, that was pretty weird to me. Like, this is even before Megatron gets a huge power up at the end of the movie, and already the first time they meet, when Megatron was just a minor and then he learns to transform, like the first time they meet, then he already loses to Megatron so easily. Like, I don't understand how he's been leading this rebellion for so many years, like 50 cycles, and then he just loses to this minor who just transforms for the first time. It makes no sense to me. But other than that, I thought Starscream's character, his personality was handled very well. I just wish he was stronger, you know, like in terms of combat power. I want to see the Starscream that is like I guess if there was ever a prequel to this movie, we'll get to see a Starscream that is really like the badass ass-kicking leader bot of the rebellion. And also, I know one of the big worries about this movie was whether Chris Hemsworth could voice Optimus Prime well. And guys, let me just say, I'm extremely surprised, but Chris Hemsworth actually did an amazing job voicing Optimus Prime in this movie. Like, obviously, no one can top the OG Peter Cullen. Peter Cullen's gonna be the best Optimus Prime voice forever. But honestly, Chris Hemsworth did an absolutely amazing job. Nowhere near as good as Peter Cullen, but still really, really good. You get to see him grow from Orion Pax into Optimus Prime at the end of the movie, and Chris Hemsworth does an actually pretty good Optimus Prime voice at the end of the movie. And yeah, he really surpassed all my expectations, like how Chris Pratt's Mario surpassed my expectations in the Mario movie last year as well. And overall, I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10. I think it is really one of the best movies of the year. Like, Chris Hemsworth has been in 2 of my favorite movies of the year already, Furiosa and now Transformers 1. I think all Transformers fans must watch this movie. This is really probably even, I would just say this is the best Transformers movie ever. And even if you're not a Transformers fan, I think you can still really enjoy this movie just for all the mature themes that I mentioned earlier. Oh, and make sure you stay for the post-credit scene, because there is, like, after the credits roll all the way at the very end, there's a very massive post-credit scene that you must stay for. I won't spoil anything, but yeah, definitely stay for it. And yeah, that's all for this review, guys. If you want to hear more of my movie reviews, please do consider subscribing and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with everything going on here on the Midnight Suns channel. Thanks again for watching, and as always, stay gold and never fade. Bye, guys.